So good morning, and thank you for joining me once again here at my regular show every Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So, most musicians earn their living performing on some kind of tour. We travel from place to place, playing our music in a wide variety of venues. If you're in a rock band, you usually play in a bar or restaurant. If you're a classical musician or group, you might play in a concert hall or recital hall. And if you're doing experimental music of some kind, well, you might find yourself at a convention somewhere. For any musician trying to get their music out, one can find themselves in just about anywhere trying to set up and play. For organ players like me, though, the choices are few and far between. Classic pipe organs, of course, are not intended to be portable, and they mostly reside in traditional churches where acceptance of experimental music is almost non-existent. And even the electronic versions of the classic organ, well, they're not really meant to be moved from place to place. So where do I find a venue for my original ambient organ music? Well, this live streaming thing for now is kind of perfect. You know, I can just play right here at home. I can send it out online. But after this pandemic is over, well, I'm going to have to get out in person in front of other people. And if I want to gain more fans and eventually sell my music so I can hopefully earn a living, you know, that'd be nice. Now, back in the 80s, I played in rock bands, and I was very portable. Well, portable for the time. You know, these days, a rock band keyboardist can tuck a single lightweight keyboard that does thousands of things under his arm, put it up on a folding stand, plug into the house system, and off you go. But back in the 80s, things were just a little different. So the foundation of my rock band keyboard setup was the Fender Rhodes Mark II 73-note electric piano. This thing weighed about 150 pounds. I could almost pick it up myself. It was in a nice suitcase, so once it was all packed up, I could pile things on top of it. On top of the Fender Rhodes sat a Crumar Roadrunner 2. Now this was kind of an all-electronic knockoff of the famous Hohner clavinet that Stevie Wonder loves so much. But I couldn't afford the clavinet, so I bought this instead. It did a decent job for that kind of thing. Then over to my right was the Crumar Performer. I wish I still had this keyboard because it had such a unique sound, and it was really extremely versatile for what it did. And for music that was going around in the early 80s, it was kind of the perfect machine. And then, of course, on top of that, I had to have a proper synthesizer, and I owned the Korg MS-20. Another keyboard I wish I still had, but, you know, you can't have everything. At one point, these were selling on eBay for $10,000, and I had traded mine away for a leather jacket. Not a good move. Now, of course, all of these audio outputs had to go into some kind of mixer, and I had a Carvin suitcase mixer that was a big, bulky thing, but again, rugged. Once you closed it up, you could pile a bunch of crap on top of it. Then I had two Trainer 300-watt amplifiers. That was running through a pair of Bullfrog speakers. Now, by today's standards, that really doesn't look all that portable. And believe it or not, I actually fit the whole thing into my 1975 Honda Civic hatchback. It was the ultimate game of Tetris to put all of that rigged together and take it out to a gig.